I am delighted to welcome to the show Mayra Flores. Mayra has represented Texas's 34th Congressional District. Mayra, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, Mayra, I'm so excited to have you here. I love being your friend, following you on social media, and you ran such a great campaign. But I wanted to ask you a little bit about what you think kind of went on in the midterms, because I know you tweeted at the time that the red wave unfortunately didn't occur. So what do you think are some things that kind of didn't happen in 2022?
Well, I can speak only for South Texas. I am very proud of the work that we did here in South Texas. I won the special on June 14th, and I became the first Mexican-born Congresswoman ever elected in Congress. But that district was a Biden +4 district. It was still a Biden district, a competitive district, and was very proud of winning that special election. But we were redistricted, and that district became a Biden +16, which made it 4 times harder. But we didn't want to give up. We wanted to continue pushing the conservative message because we know South Texas is very conservative. We're all about God, family, and country. And we're very proud of the work that we did here because it's no longer a Biden +16 anymore. Now it's a D8, which makes it a lot more competitive than before. So it's all about winning ground. And that's what we did here in South Texas. We won ground. We won hearts and souls. And that's what it's all about. But yes, you're right. I didn't see this red wave. And I think that it's so important that we get the conservative message out there, but also that we get Republicans to know the importance of getting out to vote as well. Just like Democrats, it's important that we all Americans go out and vote. And we saw that in my district, 60% of the voters went out to vote compared to 2020. And we need to do better than that. And not just in South Texas, but, nationwide, we need to be able to get people to go out to vote. Their voice matters. We want them to trust the process. So it's very important that we improve the election process so people trust the process whenever they go out and vote, which is very important.
Absolutely. And I think it's so important too, like you mentioned, so much progress was made, even just for the future, even just for bringing more people over to the conservative side of things. And sometimes maybe it's about the long-term battle involved as opposed to, just this one time, because over time, it'll take time to continue to reach a lot of people in South Texas. But do you find that many people are kind of leaving the Democrat Party as they realize the crime and so many of the bad policies coming from there have been affecting them?
Latinos are, and that's a fact. Latinos are leaving the Democrat Party. But I think it's important that we also focus on issues that are important. The water is important, but there was also a lot of misinformation. For example, the Democrat Party here was telling the elderly community that the Republican Party was going to take away their Social Security, when in fact, it's their policies that are killing Social Security and their retirement benefits. That's what the Democrat Party is doing. They're killing their Social Security, hard-earned money. They're killing their retirement benefits with their policies, sending billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine with this crazy overspending. They are killing Social Security. They are killing their retirement benefits, but instead they spread this lies in all over South Texas that Republicans, that Mayra Flores was going to be taking away their Social Security. They spread this message that we were extremists. So a lot of misinformation, a lot of lies were spread in South Texas, and I'm sure throughout the country as well. So it's so important that we fight back.
Yeah.
It's so important. Yes, let's talk about the economy. Yes, let's talk about inflation. Let's talk about the border, but let's fight back these attacks. Let's not allow them to destroy our image when they're the ones that are destroying our country.
Right. And I wanted to ask you a little bit about this term Latinx, because the left has gotten very into using that term, though I don't find that a lot of people actually use the term. And I saw you tweeted about that. So what's kind of your reaction to the Latinx term?
Honestly, Latinos don't use that. So these are people that are honestly not Latinos or not Hispanics, don't understand our culture. That is not who we are. We've always been Latinos. It will continue to be Latinos. It's not going to change. But it's just nonsense. And they want us to focus on the nonsense and not focus on the real issues that are impacting our everyday Americans.
Yeah. And I do think that many people want actual solutions. They actually want their life to be better. Like you mentioned, talking about the economy, also talking about crime, talking about God, those things really influences people. But when you start to make it about really silly terms like Latinx, it doesn't really resonate. And so maybe over time, a lot of people in that area will continue to move in the conservative direction. Do you find that the strategies there are generally like working well, or do you feel like we still have a lot of issues we need to overcome there?
Well, there is a lot of issues that we have to overcome, but I think that it's all about growing and making us better every election, and I've come wiser. I'm not the same person that I was in 2018, 2020. Like, we grow every year, every day. And that's what it's all about, learning and being better, and also learning from our mistakes and just moving forward. That is all it's about. For me, I think what I learned, in this election is, to defend myself more, that it's so important that not to allow them to spread this misinformation constantly.